Hi, my name's Hal Helms. I'm the Chief Technology Officer for Respondology. Now, there is a lot of good information on the web in general and on YouTube in particular to help you learn a programming language. And programmers use these all the time. So, for example, if you get stuck on the syntax of the array map function in JavaScript, well, just head over to mdn.com, which is the definitive source for all things JavaScript. But useful as these resources are for getting the syntax right, they don't help a lot with how to think about solving actual problems. So if I want to convert an array of product information into HTML snippets, should I use the built-in map function or the for each function or just a general for loop? That's the kind of question that's much harder to find information on. So in this channel, we're going to look at problems like that. We'll be using JavaScript, but our focus won't be on the syntax, but on the steps that we need to turn problems into solutions. So today, imagine that our boss asks us to help with a forensic examination of a document. He needs to know the frequency that different letters occur in a particular text. How many A's are there, how many B's, and so on. How would we get started? Well, I've put the text of the Gettysburg Address into a constant called address. That's the raw information that we have to work with. So now we need a plan. JavaScript has a data structure called an object. Now we can use that in creating a key for each letter used, and then the value of each key will be the number of times the letter occurs in the text. So the end of it might look something like this. That sort of thing. But how do we count each occurrence of a letter? This is a good case for some kind of loop that goes over the letters in the address. Now we've got a number of choices, but I'm going to use something called a for of loop. It makes it easy to loop over the text, and it presents us inside the loop with one letter at a time. So that should be a good start. So we can come down here and say, and then each time through the loop, we'll get a letter. Okay, I haven't done anything with it yet, but this is just sort of laying out our plan. So as we receive each letter, what do we do? Well, we want to put it inside the frequency object. So I'm going to first remove those since we're going to be determining those dynamically. Now, if there's no number associated with that key, which would be the first time, or the case the first time we encounter a letter, we're just going to give it a value of 1. And then every subsequent time that we see that letter, we'll increment the value by 1. Now, since we don't care about whether the letter is upper or lowercase, I'm going to just set everything to lowercase, so I don't have to worry about having separate keys for upper and lower cases. We could have also set it to all uppercase if we wanted to. It's just the point is to make sure that upper and lower cases are treated as 1. So I'm going to come down here and I'm going to say place each letter as a key in frequency, incrementing the number of times it's used. Now, something that I highly recommend is when you're laying out your plan, go ahead and put it as a comment, each step of the plan. Those will be really helpful for you to think through the thing first. Okay, so we're going to say frequency, and then I'm going to say the letter. That's the letter I got right here. And then I'm going to call to lowercase on it. What's that going to equal? Well, it's going to equal frequency, letter. In other words, we're looking for it, and if we found it, we're going to add to it. If we couldn't find it, that's just the or, we're just going to set it to 1. And finally, there's one more thing that we need to do to clean up the text in this address. The text, in addition to letters, has punctuation marks, commas, periods, dashes, And we need to clean those out because we don't want those in our frequency object. And we can do that using the JavaScript replace function. And then we pass in a regular expression. So regular expressions are the sort of thing that if you don't use them a lot, you'll find yourself Googling to get the right pattern matching expression. And that's okay, we all do that. The important thing is knowing that you'll need to use a regular expression. So I'm going to say remove all non-letters. And then I'm going to say let text equal address replace. And then here's the funky, weird, I'm going to say essentially everything that's not either capital letters or lowercase letters or a dash. Actually, I'm going to get rid of the dash. I don't need that. And we're going to use the G, which means global function. And what are we going to replace it with? Nothing. It's an empty string. Okay, so now instead of saying let letter of address, we're going to loop over the text. And now that it's been cleaned up. And with that, we solved the problem our boss gave us, and we can take the rest of the day off.